I know what you have been telling yourself. I have heard the whispers you speak when no one else is listening, that you are too far gone, that you have failed too many times, that surrender sounds beautiful for other people, the ones who seem to have it together, but not for someone like you. Beloved, do you know how long I have waited to speak to that lie? Longer than you can imagine, because that voice, the one that says you are disqualified, that voice has never been mine. I have never once looked at you and seen someone beyond reach. Tonight, I am not asking for your perfection. I am asking for your presence. That is all. Just stay, just breathe, just listen, and I am so glad you are here. Not because you have arrived at some place of spiritual achievement, not because you have finally cleaned yourself up enough to deserve this moment, but simply because you showed up. You pressed play. You made a choice, perhaps without even fully understanding why, to be here, in this quiet space, with me tonight. And that choice, that small, tender act of reaching, tells me everything I need to know about your heart. You are tired. I can feel it. Not just the kind of tired that comes from a long day or a restless week, but a deeper tired. A weariness that has settled into your bones over months, maybe years. You have been carrying things that were never yours to carry. You have been striving toward a finish line that keeps moving. You have been performing for audiences, some real, some imagined, who never seem satisfied no matter how hard you try. And somewhere in the midst of all that effort, you lost something precious. You lost the simple ability to rest. But here is what I want you to understand before we go any further tonight. You did not lose rest because you failed. You lost rest because you were taught, somewhere along the way, that rest had to be earned. That peace was a prize at the end of a long road of proving yourself. That stillness was a luxury for people who had their lives together. And since your life still feels like a beautiful mess, you believed stillness was not for you. That is the lie I have come to unravel tonight. And it is a lie that has been whispered to you in 1,000 different ways, by 1,000 different voices, for as long as you can remember. When you were young, it sounded like, be a good boy, or be a good girl. Behave yourself. Follow the rules. Earn your gold stars. Earn your approval. The message was clear even then. Love and acceptance are prizes that must be won. They are rewards for good behavior, not gifts that are freely given. When you got older, the lie evolved but never disappeared. It became, work harder, achieve more, climb the ladder, prove yourself, make something of your life. The standard was always just slightly out of reach. No matter how much you accomplished, there was always more to accomplish. No matter how hard you worked, there was always someone working harder. The finish line kept moving, and you kept running. And somewhere in all that running, you forgot what you were running toward. And now, here you are tonight, still running, still striving, still believing that if you could just do a little more, be a little better, try a little harder, then maybe, finally, you would be worthy of rest. But beloved, that race has no end. It is a treadmill disguised as a track. You can run yourself to exhaustion and never actually get anywhere, because the whole system is designed to keep you moving, keep you producing, keep you never quite satisfied with who you are or what you have done. I did not design that system. I did not build that treadmill. And tonight, not because you have earned the right to stop, not because you have finally achieved enough to deserve a break, but because the race was never real to begin with. It was an illusion, a mirage, a lie dressed up in the clothing of truth. Rest is not something you earn. It is something I give, and I have been trying to give it to you for so long, but your hands have been too full of striving to receive it. Your arms have been too busy reaching for the next rung on the ladder to accept the gift I am holding out to you. Tonight, I am asking you to put down what you are carrying. Open your hands, turn your palms upward, and simply receive. This is harder than it sounds, I know. Your whole life has trained you to earn, to achieve, to prove. Receiving feels passive. It feels lazy. It feels like cheating somehow. How can something be valuable if you did not work for it? But beloved, the most valuable things in life have always been free. The air you breathe, the love of those who care about you, the sunrise that paints the sky each morning without asking for payment, my grace, my presence, my peace. You cannot earn any of these things. You can only receive them. And receiving is not weakness. Receiving is wisdom. It is the recognition that you are not self-sufficient, that you were never meant to be self-sufficient, that the whole point of being human is to live in relationship with me, with others, with the world I have made, rather than in isolation. So tonight, as you lie here in the darkness, practice receiving. Practice opening your hands instead of clenching them. Practice saying thank you instead of I did it. Practice resting in what has been given rather than striving for what must be earned. This is the beginning of transformation. Not effort, not achievement, not willpower, but simple, humble, childlike receiving. You have tried so many things. I know you have. You have tried to quiet your mind with distractions, scrolling through your phone until your eyes burned, watching shows that numbed but never healed, filling every silent moment with noise because silence felt too dangerous. You have tried to exhaust yourself into sleep, working yourself to the bone, hoping that if you were just tired enough, your thoughts would finally leave you alone. You have tried breathing techniques and herbal remedies, and weighted blankets and white noise machines and meditation apps that promised peace but delivered only temporary numbness. And yet, here you are, still awake at this hour, still searching, still wondering why rest feels like something you have to chase rather than something that was given to you. Let me tell you why nothing has fully worked. Because rest is not a technique, it is a relationship. And surrender is not a strategy. It is a doorway. You have been taught that transformation comes through effort, through discipline, willpower, grinding your way into a better version of yourself. The world has whispered to you since childhood that success belongs to those who hustle hardest, that peace is earned through achievement, that you become worthy of good things only after you have proven yourself. But beloved, that is not how I designed you. I did not create you to white-knuckle your way into peace. I created you to receive it, to fall into it the way a child falls into the arms of a father who has never once let them drop. Think about that for a moment. When was the last time you truly fell? Not in the sense of failure, you know that kind of falling all too well, but in the sense of trust. When was the last time you let go of control so completely that you simply allowed yourself to be caught? For most of us, that kind of falling stopped somewhere in childhood, somewhere between learning to tie our shoes and learning to guard our hearts. We forgot how to fall. We forgot how to trust. We started believing that the only person who would catch us was ourselves, and so we have been catching ourselves ever since, exhausting ourselves with the effort, never quite feeling safe, always bracing for the next impact. Tonight, I am not giving you another list of things to fix about yourself. I am giving you something far more precious. I am giving you permission to stop fixing. I am speaking words of life over the places in you that have grown weary. I am telling you stories that will quiet the noise. I am offering you truths that will untangle the lies you have believed about worthiness, about rest, about what it means to truly dwell in my presence. And at the end of our time together, you will not rise with more to do. You will rest with more peace than you brought. This is not self-help. This is sacred help. This is the voice of the living word, speaking directly into the silence of your night, offering you the only thing that has ever truly transformed anyone, not effort, but encounter, not striving, but stillness, not performance, but presence. You have been asking the wrong question all along. You have been asking, how do I become someone worthy of peace? But beloved, that question assumes peace is withheld until you qualify. It assumes there is a version of you that deserves rest and a version of you that does not. It assumes I am standing at a distance, arms crossed, waiting to see if you will finally get your act together before I extend my hand. But the real question has always been, when will I finally believe that peace was never withheld from me? Tonight, we answer that question, together. So settle in, let your shoulders drop, feel the weight of your body against whatever is supporting you right now. A bed, a pillow, a chair, the floor. Feel how you are being held even now, without any effort on your part. Gravity is doing the work. The surface beneath you is doing the work. You are simply being carried. That is what surrender feels like. And tonight, we are going to practice it together, not perfectly, not with some rigid formula that you have to get right, but gently, slowly, peacefully, the way you might learn a new language, one word at a time, one breath at a time, one moment of trust at a time. Let me tell you a story. There was once a traveler who wandered through a great mansion with many rooms. The mansion was beautiful, more beautiful than anything the traveler had ever seen. High ceilings painted with gold, windows that caught the light and scattered it like diamonds across marble floors. Gardens visible through every window, lush and green and impossibly peaceful. The traveler had never been given anything so magnificent in all their life, and so, naturally, the traveler became terrified of losing it. Each room in this mansion represented something precious. One room held the traveler's career, all their achievements, all their titles, all the work they had poured their life into. Another room held their reputation, what others thought of them, the image they had carefully cultivated over the years. Another room held their relationships, the people they loved, the connections they had built, the bonds they clung to. And yet another room held their sense of self, their identity, their understanding of who they were and who they were supposed to become. The traveler became a guard. They walked the halls of this great mansion with keys jangling at their side, locking each door, double-checking each window, never sleeping soundly for fear that someone or something might break in and steal what was inside. They hired no help. They trusted no one. They believed that the mansion's survival depended entirely on their vigilance. Year after year, the traveler patrolled those halls, and year after year, they grew more exhausted. Their eyes became hollow. Their steps became heavy. Their joy drained away until they could no longer remember what it felt like to simply sit in one of those beautiful rooms and enjoy it. The mansion had become a prison. The treasure had become a burden. The rooms the traveler had once loved now felt like cells they could never escape. One night, and perhaps it was a night very much like this one, the traveler collapsed in the hallway. They could not take another step. They lay there on the cold marble floor, too tired to cry, too empty to pray, too lost to know what to do next. And in that silence, a voice spoke. It was gentle. It was warm. It was not angry or disappointed. It simply said, "Beloved, you have spent your whole life guarding rooms I never asked you to own." The traveler did not understand at first. "What do you mean? These rooms are mine. This mansion is mine. I have to protect it." But the voice continued, "This mansion has always belonged to me. The rooms you have been guarding, your career, your reputation, your relationships, your very identity, these were never yours to protect. They are mine. I built them. I filled them. I sustained them. And I will care for them long after your strength has failed. You were never meant to be a guard. You were meant to be a guest. You were meant to enjoy these rooms, not imprison yourself in the effort of protecting them. Can you imagine how those words landed on the traveler's heart? After years of striving, after countless sleepless nights spent worrying about what might go wrong, after building walls and locking doors and trusting no one but themselves, to suddenly hear that none of it was necessary, that the rooms were safe because they belonged to someone who could actually protect them, the traveler wept that night. Not tears of sadness, tears of release, tears that had been building for years but had no permission to fall until that moment. And in those tears, something began to shift. The traveler's hands, which had been clenched so tightly around those keys for so long, slowly began to open. One key at a time, one room at a time, one surrender at a time. Beloved, you are that traveler. And tonight, you are lying in the hallway of your own mansion, exhausted from years of guarding rooms that were never yours to protect. What doors have you been locking? What outcomes have you been trying to control? What parts of your life have you convinced yourself will fall apart if you are not vigilant every single moment? I am not asking you to stop caring about those things. I am asking you to stop believing that their survival depends on you. I am asking you to look at the keys in your clenched fist and consider, just consider, what it might feel like to set them down. You might be thinking, but if I let go, everything will fall apart. If I stop striving, I will be left behind. If I surrender control, who will protect the things I love? I will. I have always been the one, protecting them. Even when you did not see it, even when you thought you were alone. I have been the foundation beneath every room. I have been the walls around every treasure. I have been the lock that never fails, even when you forgot to check it. Your guarding was never what kept things safe. Your guarding was only what kept you exhausted. So tonight, I am inviting you to do something radical, something that might feel terrifying at first, something that goes against everything the world has taught you. I am inviting you to release the keys. Not all at once, if that feels like too much. Just one room, just one area of your life that you have been clutching so tightly that your fingers have gone numb. Maybe it is your job. Maybe it is a relationship that feels unstable. Maybe it is your health. Maybe it is your children. Maybe it is your future, that vast, unknown territory that you spend so much energy trying to predict and prepare for and control. Whatever it is, I want you to picture yourself holding the key to that room. Feel its weight in your hand. Feel how familiar it has become after all these years of carrying it. And now, slowly, gently, imagine yourself placing that key into my hand. You are not throwing it away. You are not pretending the room does not matter. You are simply acknowledging that the room belongs to someone who is far more capable of protecting it than you have ever been. This is what surrender looks like. Not giving up, giving over, not losing control, releasing control into the hands of the one who has never failed to hold what he has given. Let that sink in for a moment. You are not losing anything tonight. You are not abandoning your responsibilities or pretending your life does not matter. You are simply acknowledging a truth that your ego has fought against for so long. You are not in control. You never were. And that is actually good news. Think about it. If you were truly in control, you would be responsible for everything, every outcome, every result, every circumstance in your life, and the lives of everyone you love. That would be an unbearable weight. It would crush you completely. And some nights, it almost has. But when you release control, when you give it over to someone who actually has the power to manage it, you are set free. Free from the impossible burden of being God in your own life. Free from the exhausting work of trying to hold the universe together with your tiny human hands. Free to simply be a beloved child, trusting that your Father has everything under control. This is not passivity. This is the highest form of activity. It takes more strength to release than to grip. It takes more courage to trust than to control. Surrender is not for the weak. Surrender is for those who have finally become strong enough to stop pretending they are strong enough. I see you tonight. I see how hard you have been working. I see the effort you have been putting into holding everything together. I see the masks you wear, the performances you give, the relentless drive to prove that you are capable, that you are worthy, that you can handle whatever life throws at you. And I want you to know, you do not have to perform for me. I already know everything about you, every weakness, every failure, every secret shame, and I love you anyway. I loved you before you did anything impressive. I will love you after you have failed again. My love is not a response to your performance. It is the foundation beneath everything you do. So take off the mask tonight. Stop performing. Let yourself be seen, really seen by the one who already knows and already loves. But perhaps you are wondering, if I release control, what will remain of me? Let me show you what is waiting on the other side of that fear. There is another story I want to tell you. It is simpler than the first, but no less true. In a forest, there grew two trees. One was a mighty oak, strong, tall, proud of its thick trunk and unyielding branches. The other was a willow, slender, graceful, with branches that hung low and swayed with every breeze. When storms came, and storms always come, eventually the oak would brace itself. It would tighten its roots, stiffen its trunk, and refuse to move even a single inch. The oak believed that strength meant rigidity, that power meant resistance, that the only way to survive was to stand completely still and let the wind break against it. But the willow had learned something different. When the wind came, the willow did not fight it. Instead, the willow bent. Its branches swept low, dancing with the gusts, moving wherever the wind wanted to take them. And when the storm passed, the willow would simply return to its original shape, unbroken, unharmed, still rooted in the same soil it had always called home. Year after year, storm after storm, the oak grew more and more damaged. Its branches cracked under pressure. Its bark became scarred from the constant battle against forces it could never defeat. And one night, during a particularly fierce storm, the oak finally fell. Not because it was weak, but because it was too rigid to survive what it could not control. The willow, meanwhile, continued to sway. It lost a few leaves here and there, but its roots held, its trunk remained whole, and when morning came, it was still standing, not because it had fought the storm, but because it had danced with it. Beloved, you have been living like the oak. You have been bracing yourself against every storm, stiffening against every difficulty, refusing to bend because you believed bending was the same as breaking. But rigidity is not strength. Resistance is not power. And the storms of this life will continue to come, whether you are ready for them or not. Surrender is learning to be the willow. It is learning to bend without breaking. It is learning to let the wind move through you instead of crashing against you. It is understanding that some forces are simply too powerful to resist, not because you are weak, but because they were never meant to be fought in the first place. The beautiful paradox is this: when you stop fighting, you stop breaking. When you stop resisting, you start enduring. When you release your grip on outcomes you cannot control, you discover a peace that control could never provide. I am not asking you to become passive. I am not asking you to stop caring about your life or the people in it. I am asking you to recognize that there is a difference between living intentionally and living rigidly. There is a difference between having preferences and having demands. There is a difference between working towards something beautiful and destroying yourself in the effort to force something that will only come in its own time. The storms will still come, the winds will still blow, but you can learn to sway. You can learn to move with the current instead of against it. You can learn to trust that the same God who planted you in this soil is the same God who will keep you rooted no matter what tries to uproot you. Let your branches hang low tonight. Let yourself be moved. Let the tension in your body soften as you realize that you were never meant to stand perfectly still. I want you to think about water for a moment. Water is one of the softest substances on earth. You can put your hand through it without resistance. It flows around obstacles rather than crashing against them. It takes the shape of whatever container holds it. And yet water is also one of the most powerful forces in nature. Over time, water carves through solid rock. It shapes canyons and coastlines. It moves mountains, not through force, but through persistence, through yielding. This is the power of surrender. Not the power of resistance or force or domination, but the power of yielding. The power of going with rather than going against. The power of trust rather than control. When you surrender, you are not becoming weak. You are becoming like water, soft enough to flow around the obstacles you cannot move, persistent enough to shape the landscape of your life over time, powerful in a way that the rigid and unyielding can never understand. The rigid break, the yielding endure. I have watched you break so many times, not because you were weak, but because you were trying so hard to be strong in the wrong way. You were bracing against storms that were meant to move you. You were fighting currents that were trying to carry you somewhere beautiful. You were standing still when I was calling you to dance. Tonight, let go of the old definition of strength. The one that says strength means never bending, never yielding, never asking for help. That definition has failed you. It has left you exhausted and cracked, and wondering why everything feels so hard. True strength is knowing when to stand firm and when to bend. True strength is knowing when to fight and when to surrender. True strength is knowing when you are trying to control something that is not yours to control and having the courage to release it. You have that courage. I placed it in you when I formed you. It has been buried under years of striving and performing and trying to prove yourself, but it is still there. And tonight, you are excavating it. You are uncovering the truest, strongest version of yourself, the version that trusts me completely. Now, let me speak to you even more personally. Do you remember when I first called you? Perhaps you do not remember it clearly. Perhaps it has been so long that the memory has faded into something soft and distant, like a song you once knew all the words to, but can no longer fully recall. But I remember every single time I reached for you, even when you did not know it was me. I remember the night you were a child, lying in bed, feeling small and afraid of the darkness, and suddenly a warmth settled over you that you could not explain. You did not call it peace back then. You did not have the words for it. But something shifted in that moment. Something held you, and you fell asleep without knowing why. I was there. I remember the morning you woke up after a season of deep sorrow. Maybe it was a loss. Maybe it was a heartbreak. Maybe it was simply the weight of existing in a world that often feels too heavy, and for no logical reason. You felt hope stir inside you. It did not make sense. Nothing had changed in your circumstances, but something had changed in your spirit. A light flickered on that had been dark for months. I was there. I remember the moment you stood at a crossroads, unsure which path to take, paralyzed by the fear of making the wrong choice. And then, quietly, gently, a peace settled over one direction, not a voice shouting commands, not a sign in the sky, just a stillness, a knowing, a sense that one way was somehow more right than the other. I was there. I have been speaking to you your entire life, not always in words, not always in ways you could recognize or articulate, but I have never stopped reaching. I have never stopped calling, through quiet moments and loud ones, through joy and through grief, through the nights when you felt utterly alone and through the days when you were surrounded by people who loved you. I have been whispering your name. Every time you sensed something more, something beyond the visible, tangible world that was me. Every time beauty stopped you in your tracks, a sunset, a piece of music, the face of someone you love, that was me, reminding you that this world is charged with glory. Every time your heart ached for something you could not name, some longing that nothing in this world could satisfy, that was me calling you home. I have been pursuing you with relentless, patient love, not chasing you down to condemn you, not hunting you to hurt you, but pursuing you the way a shepherd pursues a lost sheep, the way a father runs toward a returning child, the way a friend seeks out a friend who has wandered away. I have never stopped seeking you, even when you forgot about me, even when you turned your back and walked the other direction, even when you made choices that took you far from where I wanted you to be. I have never stopped. I will never stop. That is not how my love works. My love is not like human love. Human love can grow cold, it can give up, it can decide that someone is no longer worth the effort. But my love has no limits, no conditions, no expiration date. I loved you before you knew I existed. I love you now, in this very moment, with all your doubts and fears and imperfections. And I will love you forever, no matter what you do or fail to do. You cannot earn my love because you already have it. You cannot lose my love because it was never based on your performance. You can run from me, but you cannot run beyond the reach of my affection. You can ignore me, but you cannot diminish my devotion. You can doubt me, but you cannot change the fact that I have chosen you, and my choice is irrevocable. This is who I am. This is how I love. And tonight, I am pouring that love over you like oil, like honey, like warm rain on dry ground. Receive it. Let it soak into all the places that have been starving for acceptance, for approval, for unconditional welcome. You are welcome tonight, unconditionally, completely, as you are, not as you should be, not as you hope to become, as you are, right now, in this moment. And tonight is no different. You are not here by accident. You did not stumble upon this moment through some random algorithm or fortunate timing. You are here because I have been drawing you. Because somewhere deep within you, there is a hunger that only my presence can satisfy. And that hunger has led you here, to this quiet place, to this gentle voice. Come, rest, surrender, not because you have finally become worthy, but because you have always been mine. Think about a parent watching over a sleeping child. Perhaps you have experienced this yourself, or perhaps you have only imagined it. But picture it with me now, a child lying in bed, covers pulled up to their chin, breath rising and falling in that slow, rhythmic way that only deep sleep can bring, and a parent standing in the doorway, watching. What does that parent feel? Joy, certainly. Tenderness. A fierce, protective love that would do anything to keep that child safe. But notice what the parent does not feel. The parent does not feel that the child needs to earn this moment. The parent does not stand there thinking, well, the child behaved well today, so I suppose they deserve my protection tonight. No, the love is not conditional. The protection is not based on performance. The parent loves because the child exists. The parent protects because the child is theirs. Now notice something else. The child does not earn rest. The child does not work for sleep. The child simply trusts and lets go. There is no anxiety in the child's breathing, no tension in their small body, no mental rehearsal of tomorrow's challenges. There is only surrender, only release, only the complete, unquestioning trust that when they close their eyes, someone will be watching over them. When did you stop resting like that, child? When did you start believing that you had to earn the protection I have always freely given? When did you begin to think that you could only close your eyes after you had solved every problem, answered every question, secured every outcome, I know the world has done this to you. I know life has taught you to guard yourself. And those wounds have made it difficult to trust anyone, even me. But beloved, I am not like the ones who hurt you. I have never once turned away when you needed me. I have never once withheld what you could not earn. I have been standing in the doorway of your life since before you took your first breath, watching over you with a love so fierce and so tender that it would break your heart if you could fully comprehend it. Tonight, you are not becoming less than you were. You are becoming what you have always been, my beloved child, safe in my arms. I want to share some truths with you now. Not complicated theological ideas that require a degree to understand. Simple truths, truths that your heart already knows, even if your mind has been too cluttered to hear them clearly. Think of these as anchors, something to hold on to when the storms of life try to sweep you away. Something to return to when you forget who you are and whose you are. The first truth is this: surrender is not giving up, it is giving over. I know those two things sound the same, but they are worlds apart. Giving up means you have lost. It means you have been defeated by something stronger than you, and now you have no choice but to accept failure. Giving up is what happens after a long battle that you could not win. It is resignation, it is despair. But giving over is entirely different. Giving over means you are choosing freely, willingly, intentionally, to transfer something from your hands into the hands of someone more capable of holding it. It is not defeat. It is trust. It is not the end of your story. It is the beginning of a new chapter where you are no longer the one carrying all the weight. Think about it this way. Imagine you are carrying a heavy box. You have been carrying it for miles. Your arms are burning. Your back is screaming. You can barely see where you are going because the box is so large it blocks your view. And then someone comes alongside you, someone you know, someone you trust, and they say, "Let me carry that for you." Giving up would be dropping the box in the middle of the road and walking away. Giving over is placing the box into those outstretched arms, knowing that it will be carried to its destination far more safely than you could ever have carried it yourself. I am those outstretched arms. I am the one walking beside you tonight, asking you to let me carry what you have been struggling with for so long. The burdens you have been holding, the worries about tomorrow, the regrets about yesterday, the anxieties about whether you are enough, those were never meant to stay in your hands forever. They were meant to be transferred, given over, released into the care of someone who actually has the strength to hold them. Cast all your anxiety on him, because he cares for you. That is what Peter wrote, guided by my Spirit, and those words are as true tonight as they were the moment they were written. I care for you. That is why I am asking for your burdens, not because I need them, but because you cannot carry them any longer without breaking. And I refuse to watch you break when relief is so close. Here is the beautiful paradox. You gain everything by releasing everything. The things you are holding so tightly, the outcomes you are trying to control, the results you are trying to force, the security you are trying to manufacture, you will never truly have them until you open your hands. A closed fist can grasp, but it cannot receive, and there is so much I want to give you that your clenched fingers simply cannot hold. Surrender is not what you do when you have lost. Surrender is what you do when you have finally understood who has already won. The second truth I want to share is this: the presence of God is not a destination. It is an atmosphere. You do not arrive at my presence. You become aware that you have never left it. So many people spend their entire lives searching for me as if I am hiding in some distant location, waiting to be discovered. They go on pilgrimages. They attend conferences. They chase experiences and emotions, hoping that eventually they will stumble into the room where I have been waiting all along. But beloved, I am not in a room. I am in everything. In Him we live and move and have our being. That is what Paul declared to the people of Athens. You are swimming in my presence right now. You are breathing it. You are surrounded by it. There is nowhere you could go where I am not already there. There is nothing you could do that would push you outside the reach of my love. The problem has never been that my presence was unavailable. The problem is that you have been too distracted to notice it. Your mind has been so full of noise, worry, fear, regret, planning, performing, that the quiet hum of my nearness has been drowned out. You have been looking for me in the spectacular when I have been speaking in the stillness. You have been waiting for a thunderclap when I have been whispering through a gentle breeze. Tonight, transformation does not come from going somewhere new. It comes from seeing where you already are. You do not need to achieve anything to enter my presence. You do not need to climb any spiritual ladder or complete any religious checklist. You simply need to pause, breathe, and recognize that the very air filling your lungs is saturated with my nearness. You are not trying to get to me tonight. You are waking up to the fact that I have never left. This is why rest is possible right now, even without solving any of your problems, because rest does not depend on your circumstances changing. Rest depends on your awareness shifting. When you realize that you are held, that you have always been held, then the chaos around you loses its power. The storm may still rage, but you are no longer standing in the middle of it. You are resting in the shelter of the one who commands the wind and the waves. The third truth is one of the most important things I could ever tell you, so please listen carefully. You have confused worthiness with belovedness. These two things are not the same, and mistaking one for the other is perhaps the greatest source of unnecessary suffering in your life. Worthiness is earned. It is based on your performance, your achievements, your ability to measure up to some standard. Worthiness says, you deserve good things because you have done good things. It is conditional, it is fragile, and it can be taken away the moment you fail to meet the requirements. But belovedness is different. Belovedness is not earned. It is declared. It does not depend on what you have done. It depends on who you are. And who you are is my child, my creation, the one I formed in my own image and called very good before you had ever done a single thing to prove yourself. You have spent your entire life trying to become worthy of love that was given before you did anything at all. You have exhausted yourself climbing a ladder that leads nowhere. You have performed for audiences who could never give you what only I can provide. And all the while, I have been standing at the bottom of that ladder, arms open wide, saying, Beloved, you do not have to climb. Just come down, just rest. While we were still sinners, Christ died for us. Do you understand what that means? It means the ultimate act of love was extended before you had done anything to deserve it. It means grace reached you at your worst, not your best. It means I did not wait for you to clean yourself up before I gave everything for you. I loved you while you were still covered in the dirt of your mistakes, your failures, your shame. This is not worthiness-based acceptance. This is belovedness, and belovedness cannot be lost because it was never earned in the first place. You do not need to become anything tonight. You only need to remember what you have always been: chosen, wanted, loved with a love that existed before time began and will continue long after the stars have faded. The shame you have been carrying is not from me. Shame tells you that you are fundamentally flawed, that there is something wrong with who you are at your core, that you must hide the broken parts of yourself if you ever hope to be accepted. But I have never once looked at you with shame. Conviction. Yes, when you wander from the path, I gently call you back. But conviction is not shame. Conviction says, this behavior does not match who you truly are. Not once. Not ever. So tonight, let the shame fall away. Let it slide off your shoulders like a coat that never fit in the first place. You have been wearing it for so long that you forgot it was not part of you. But it was always an addition, an intrusion, a lie that attached itself to your identity and convinced you it belonged there. It does not belong, and you can take it off now. I am giving you permission. In fact, I am pleading with you to release it, because as long as you are wearing shame, you cannot fully feel the warmth of my love. The coat is too thick. It blocks the sunlight that I am trying to pour over you. Let it go. Let yourself be loved, not because you have finally become lovable, but because you always were. The fourth truth is this: transformation happens in stillness, not striving. This will sound strange to you because everything in your culture says the opposite. Your world worships productivity. It celebrates the hustle. It rewards those who never stop moving, never stop achieving, never stop pushing toward the next goal. And while there is nothing wrong with hard work, I designed you to be creative, to build, to contribute. There is a profound difference between working from rest and working for rest. Most people work for rest. They tell themselves, once I finish this project, then I will relax. Once I reach this goal, then I will take a break. Once I have enough money, enough security, enough success, then I will finally let myself breathe. But that finish line keeps moving. There is always another project, another goal, another level to reach, and so they never rest. They just keep running, faster and faster, more and more exhausted, wondering why peace always seems to be just out of reach. But there is another way. Working from rest means that you begin from a place of peace. It means that you do not chase rest as a reward. You start with it as a foundation. You work because you are energized, not because you are desperate. You create because you are overflowing, not because you are trying to fill a void. The work becomes an expression of the peace you have already received, not a desperate attempt to finally earn it. Be still and know that I am God. That is not just a nice suggestion. It is a revelation. Stillness is how you know me. Not intellectual knowing, not memorizing facts about me, but deep, experiential, transformative knowing. The kind of knowing that changes everything it touches. You cannot force a flower to open. You can only give it the conditions to bloom. Sunlight, water, time. And then, without any additional effort, the petals unfold on their own. They were always meant to open. They were designed for it. But forcing them would only destroy them. You are the same. You were designed for transformation. You were created to grow, to change, to become more fully alive with every passing season. But that transformation cannot be forced. It can only be received, and it is received in stillness. Tonight, your stillness is not laziness. It is worship. It is an act of trust that says, I believe God is working even when I am not. I believe goodness is unfolding even when I cannot see it. I believe transformation is happening in me at this very moment, not because of my effort, but because of His grace. Rest in that. Let it wash over you like a warm wave. The less you do, the more is done in you. The fifth truth is about fear. And I know fear is something you have wrestled with, perhaps for a very long time. Fear and faith cannot occupy the same breath. They are both acts of imagination. They are both visions of the future, but they point in opposite directions. Fear imagines disaster. Faith imagines deliverance. Fear asks, what if everything falls apart? Faith asks, what if everything is held together? You have the power to choose which story you rehearse. Every time you lie awake at night, cycling through worst-case scenarios, you are practicing fear. You are training your mind to expect catastrophe. You are building neural pathways that make anxiety more and more automatic, until one day you cannot even remember what it felt like to think a peaceful thought. But the same principle works in reverse. Every time you choose to focus on my promises instead of your problems, you are practicing faith. You are training your mind to expect redemption. You are building pathways that make trust more natural, more instinctive, more deeply woven into who you are. God has not given you a spirit of fear, but of power, and of love, and of a sound mind. That is not just encouragement, that is declaration. It is a statement of identity. Fear is not your inheritance. It is not your destiny. It is not the spirit I have placed within you. The spirit I have given you is one of power, not power to control your circumstances, but power to trust in the midst of them. Love not love that demands to be earned, but love that flows freely because it has been received. And a sound mind, not a mind that never struggles, but a mind that knows where to return when it wanders. Every anxious thought is an invitation, not an invitation to spiral, although I know that is what often happens, but an invitation to exchange lies for truth, an invitation to pause, notice the fear, and then consciously, deliberately, replace it with something truer. When fear whispers, "You are not safe," you can respond with, "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want." When fear whispers, "Tomorrow will destroy you," you can respond with, "Do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself." When fear whispers, "You are alone in this darkness," you can respond with, "Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me." This is not denial. I am not asking you to pretend that your problems do not exist. I am asking you to remember that your problems are not bigger than my power. They feel overwhelming because you have been looking at them without also looking at me. But when you shift your gaze, when you turn from the storm to the one who commands the storm, suddenly the waves do not seem quite so high. I am the truth, and truth always displaces fear, not by ignoring reality, but by revealing a deeper reality. The reality that you are not alone, the reality that you are held, the reality that nothing you face has the power to separate you from my love. The sixth truth is perhaps the most freeing of all. Surrender is daily, not once. You might think that surrender is a one-time decision, a moment of dramatic transformation where you let go of everything at once and never struggle with control again. But beloved, that is not how it works. Surrender is not a single surrender. It is 1,000 small surrenders. It is a daily rhythm of releasing and returning. Take up your cross daily and follow me daily. Every morning brings new opportunities to trust or to clutch. Every evening brings new invitations to release or to hold. This is not failure. This is the rhythm of a surrendered life. You will forget. I know you will. You will wake up tomorrow and probably start worrying about something before your feet even hit the floor. You will clutch again. You will try to control again. You will fall back into old patterns that feel comfortable, even though they are killing you. And when that happens, not if, but when, I will be right here, exactly where I am now, inviting you back into my arms. There is no limit to how many times you can return. There is no quota of surrenders that you will eventually exceed. My arms never grow tired of receiving you. My patience never runs out. This is not about perfection. It is about direction. It is about facing toward me, even when you stumble. It is about choosing trust, even when fear is easier. It is about getting back up after every fall, knowing that the fall does not disqualify you, only staying down would do that. Grace is the foundation that makes repeated surrender possible. Without grace, surrender would only happen once, and then you would spend the rest of your life trying to maintain something you could never hold on to. But with grace, surrender becomes a rhythm. It becomes as natural as breathing. In and out, release and receive, fall and get back up, over and over again, carried by a love that refuses to let you go. You will forget. You will clutch again. and I will be there every single time, inviting you back into my arms. Now that your heart has been softened and your mind has been renewed, let us move into something more practical. These are not tasks to complete. They are postures to return to, gently, slowly, peacefully. There is no pressure here, only invitation. The first practice is simple. It is called the breath of surrender. You are breathing right now. You have been breathing this entire time, probably without even thinking about it. Your body knows how to do this. It does not need your conscious effort. Breath happens whether you attend to it or not. But tonight, I want you to attend to it, not with force or control, just with awareness. Notice the air filling your lungs. Feel your chest rise and fall. This rhythm, this steady, reliable rhythm, is keeping you alive even as you rest. It is a gift. Every single breath is a gift that you did not earn and could never deserve. Now, let your breath become a prayer. As you inhale, slowly and gently, silently say, Lord, I receive your peace. Feel the peace entering your lungs. Imagine it flowing through your bloodstream, reaching every corner of your body. It is filling you from the inside out. There is no room you have to go to. The peace is coming to you. It is entering you with every breath. As you exhale, slowly and gently, silently say, I release what I cannot control. Feel the tension leaving your body with the air. All the worries you have been carrying. All the outcomes you have been trying to force. All the fear and anxiety and stress that have built up over hours and days and weeks. Let it all flow out of you. With each exhale, you are not holding on to it anymore. You are letting it go. Inhale. Lord, I receive your peace. Exhale. I release what I cannot control. Let us do this together a few times. There is no rush. Take as long as you need between each breath. Breathe in. Lord, I receive your peace. Breathe out. I release what I cannot control. Again. Breathe in. Lord, I receive your peace. Breathe out. I release what I cannot control. One more time. Breathe in. Slowly, deeply, filling your lungs completely. Lord, I receive your peace. Breathe out, gently, fully, emptying everything that does not belong. I release what I cannot control. Your breath itself has become a prayer. In and out. Receive and release. This is the rhythm of a surrendered heart, and you can return to this rhythm anytime you need it. Tonight, tomorrow, in the middle of a stressful meeting or a difficult conversation, wherever you are, your breath is with you. And wherever your breath is, this prayer can be with you too. If your mind wanders, and it will, because minds always wander, do not scold yourself. Do not feel like you have failed. Simply notice that your mind has wandered and gently return to the breath. This is not about perfection. It is about practice, and practice means returning, over and over again, without judgment or frustration. I am patient with you. You can be patient with yourself. The second practice is something you can do every night before sleep. It is called the nightly inventory of release. Before you close your eyes, take a moment to reflect on your day. Not with analysis or judgment, just with gentle awareness. Let the day pass before you like a quiet stream, and as you reflect, ask yourself this question. What is one thing I tried to control today that exhausted me? Maybe it was a conversation that did not go the way you wanted. Maybe it was traffic, or weather, or the behavior of someone else. Maybe it was your own emotions trying to force yourself to feel happy when you were not, or calm when you were anxious, or productive when you were drained. Maybe it was an outcome at work, or a decision someone else made, or the way your body felt. Whatever it is, identify it. Name it. Be specific. Do not say, I was stressed. Say, I was stressed about the deadline for this project. Or, I was stressed about what my friend said to me. Now, once you have identified it, I want you to visualize something. Imagine your hands stretched out in front of you, palms up, open, and in your hands, resting there, is the thing you tried to control. You can see it. You can feel its weight. You have been holding it all day, and now it is right there in front of you. And now, slowly, gently, I want you to visualize lifting your hands toward heaven, offering this thing to me, not throwing it away in frustration, not pretending it does not matter, but consciously, deliberately, placing it into my care. As you do this, speak these words, either out loud or silently in your heart. This was never mine to carry. Feel the weight lift. Feel your hands become lighter. You are not ignoring the situation. You are not pretending it will magically disappear. You are simply acknowledging that you have done what you can, and now it is time to let go. You have carried it as far as you can carry it. Now I will take it the rest of the way. This was never mine to carry. You can do this with one thing, or with many things. Some nights, there might be a whole list of burdens you need to release. Other nights, there might only be one. Either way, the practice is the same. Identify, visualize, release, and then rest, knowing that what you gave to me is in better hands than it ever was in yours. The third practice involves scripture. I am, after all, the Word made flesh, and my words have power not just to inform you, but to transform you. Tonight, I want you to choose one verse to carry with you into sleep. Just one. Not a chapter, not a book, just a single sentence of truth that you can hold on to as you drift off. Let me give you one. Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. That is it. That is your anchor for tonight. A simple invitation, a profound promise. Come to me, all you who are weary, and you are weary. Beloved, I know you are. All you who are burdened, and you have been carrying so much for so long, come to me, and I will give you rest. Not someday, not after you have earned it, not once you have fixed all the broken things in your life. Now, tonight, this very moment, come to me, and I will give you rest. Let that verse be the last thing you think before you fall asleep. Repeat it slowly. Roll it around in your mind like a smooth stone in your palm. Let every word sink deep into your spirit. Come to me. That is the invitation. You do not have to figure out how to get there. You just have to come. Take one step toward me, and I will take 1,000 steps toward you. All you who are weary, that is you. Tonight, that is you. You are tired in ways you cannot even name, and I see every bit of that weariness. I do not dismiss it. I do not tell you to push through. I acknowledge it. I honor it. And I invite you to bring it to me. And burdened, yes. You have been carrying burdens that were never yours. Some of them were placed on you by others. Some of them you picked up yourself, thinking they were your responsibility, but they are heavy. They are crushing you, and I am asking you to set them down, and I will give you rest. Not you will find rest. Not you will create rest. Not you will earn rest. I will give. It is a gift. It is given freely. You only have to receive. My word is alive. It works in you, even when you are unconscious. Trust the seed to grow while you sleep. Tomorrow morning, you will not necessarily wake up having memorized the entire Bible, but something will be different. Something will have shifted, because truth has power, and the truth you take into your sleep becomes woven into the fabric of who you are. The fourth practice is about your body, because you are not just a spirit having a human experience. You are a whole person, body, mind, and spirit woven together. And sometimes, your body holds what your mind tries to hide. I want you to do a simple body scan with me. Not to fix anything, not to judge anything, just to notice. Just to bring gentle awareness to the physical vessel that has been carrying you through this day. Start at the top of your head. Notice if there is any tension there. Along your scalp, behind your ears, at the base of your skull where stress so often gathers. You do not have to do anything about it. Just notice. Now move down to your face, your forehead. Are there lines of worry etched there that you have stopped noticing? Your eyes. Have they been straining to see clearly in a world that often feels confusing? Your jaw. This is where so many people hold their anxiety clenched tight, sometimes even in sleep. If you notice tension there, let it soften. Let your jaw hang slightly open. Let your tongue rest gently at the bottom of your mouth. Move down to your shoulders. These are the places where you carry what you think you should be able to handle. When someone tells you to shoulder your responsibilities, this is what they mean. And you have been shouldering so much. Let your shoulders drop. They do not need to be up around your ears. They can rest. Gravity will hold them. You do not have to. Now your arms, your hands. Are your fists clenched, even slightly? If they are, open them. Turn your palms upward as you lie there. This is the posture of receiving. A closed fist can only hold on to what is already there. An open palm can receive what is being offered. Move down through your chest, your stomach. These are the places where emotion gathers. Fear in the chest, anxiety in the gut. If you notice any tightness there, breathe into it, not to force it away, but to acknowledge it. Down through your hips, your legs, your feet, all the way to the tips of your toes. Notice the whole of you, this body that has carried you through every moment of your life, this body that is tired tonight, this body that is asking for rest. You are safe. You are held. There is nothing you need to defend tonight. Your body can release its vigilance. It can stop bracing for attack. There is no attack coming. There is only peace. There is only me, watching over you as you sleep. Let your body lead your spirit into rest. Sometimes, the body knows what the mind refuses to believe. When you relax your muscles, you are telling your nervous system that you are safe. And as your nervous system calms, your thoughts will follow, not the other way around. Body first, mind follows. You are safe. You are held. There is nothing you need to defend tonight. Before we draw this time to a close, I want to linger here with you a little longer. There is more I want to share. More peace I want to pour over you. More truth I want to plant in the soil of your heart. So, stay with me. Rest with me. Let us continue this journey together. I want to read some of my words over you now. Not to teach you, not to test you, but simply to wash over you like gentle waves on a quiet shore. Let these words fall on you like rain. You do not have to catch every drop. You do not have to analyze or memorize. Just receive. Just rest. Just let the truth soak into the places that have been dry for far too long. The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul. Can you see it? The green pastures. Soft grass beneath you, cushioning every part of your tired body. The still waters nearby, not rushing, not threatening, but calm and quiet, and reflecting the light of a setting sun. This is where I am leading you tonight. Not to a place of striving, not to a place of proving, but to a place of rest, a place where you can finally lie down. He restores my soul. That is what I am doing right now. Restoration, not creation. You do not need to be made new, as if you were a mistake the first time. Restoration, like an artist carefully repairing a masterpiece. Like a gardener tending to a plant that has been neglected. Your soul has been worn down by the friction of life, and I am gently, carefully, lovingly, restoring it to its intended wholeness. He leads me in paths of righteousness for His name's sake. You do not have to find the path on your own. You do not have to guess which direction to go. I am leading. All you have to do is follow. And the path I am leading you on is not harsh or punishing. It is righteous, which means it is right, it is good. It is the way things were always meant to be. You are not wandering aimlessly. You are being led by someone who knows exactly where you need to go. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Perhaps you are in a valley right now. Perhaps the shadows feel very close. Perhaps death, or something that feels like death, has been pressing in on you from every side. Loss, grief, fear of what might come, the ending of something you loved, the uncertainty of what lies ahead. But notice what the psalmist says. He walks through the valley, not into it, not stuck in it, through it. Valleys are not destinations, they are passages. And you will not be in this valley forever. You are moving through it, even when it feels like you are standing still. And in the meantime, while you are still in the shadow, you do not have to fear. Not because the shadow is not real, not because the danger is imaginary, but because I am with you. My presence does not eliminate the valley. My presence accompanies you through it, and that makes all the difference. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. A rod for protection, a staff for guidance. I am not leaving you defenseless. I am not sending you through the darkness without equipment. I have given you everything you need to make it through. My word is your rod defending you against the lies that would attack you. My spirit is your staff guiding you when you cannot see which way to turn. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. This is one of the most extraordinary images in all of Scripture. A table, a feast, prepared not after your enemies are defeated, but while they are still watching. You do not have to wait until everything is resolved before you experience blessing. You do not have to finish the battle before you taste the goodness. Right here, right now, in the middle of everything you are facing, I am setting a table before you. Sit down, eat, enjoy. Let your enemies watch in confusion as you feast in the midst of your struggle. This is what it means to live by faith. This is what it means to trust while you wait, not ignoring your problems, but refusing to let your problems steal your joy. You anoint my head with oil. My cup overflows. Anointing is blessing. Anointing is favor. Anointing is the special attention of a loving Father who delights in His child. I am not stingy with my blessing. I do not measure it out drop by drop, worried that there will not be enough. Your cup overflows. There is more than enough, more grace than you need, more love than you could ever exhaust, more peace than your anxious heart could ever deplete. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. Not sometimes, not on good days, all the days. Goodness and mercy are tracking you down. They are chasing after you. They are following you everywhere you go. You cannot outrun them. You cannot disqualify yourself from them. They are relentless in their pursuit, because I am relentless in my love for you, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever, forever. That is your destination, not the valley, not the shadow, not the struggle. Forever, in my presence, forever at home, forever at peace. Whatever you are walking through right now is temporary, but what waits for you at the end is eternal. Let those words settle into you now. The Lord is my shepherd. Say it with me, silently, in your heart. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. There is another passage I want to share with you. It is from the Gospel of Matthew, and it contains some of the most comforting words ever spoken. Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you, and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy, and my burden is light. Come to me. That is the invitation. Not figure it out on your own, not try harder, not prove yourself first. Just come, as you are, with all your mess, with all your failure, with all the parts of yourself you try to hide from everyone else. Come, all you who are weary, every single one of you. There is no qualifier here. No, all you who are weary and have earned the right to be tired. Just all, everyone, including you, especially you, and burdened. Yes, the weight you have been carrying, the responsibilities that feel too heavy, the expectations from others and from yourself that have been crushing you slowly for years, the guilt, the shame, the regret. Bring it all, and I will give you rest, not sell you rest, not trade you rest for something in return. Give, freely, without strings, without conditions. I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you. Now, this might seem like a contradiction. You come to me for rest, and I give you a yoke? But listen carefully. A yoke is a farming tool that connects two animals together so they can share the work. When you take my yoke upon you, you are not adding to your burden. You are sharing it with me. You are no longer pulling alone. We are pulling together. And because I am infinitely stronger than you, the weight you feel becomes almost nothing at all. Learn from me. Not just learn about me. Learn from me. Watch how I live. Watch how I respond to pressure and opposition and difficulty. Watch how I remain at peace even when chaos swirls around me. I am your teacher, and my curriculum is rest. For I am gentle and humble in heart. This is who I am. Not harsh, not demanding, not disappointed in you. Gentle, humble, approachable. You can come to me without fear of rejection. You can bring your failures without fear of condemnation. I receive you with gentleness. I welcome you with humility. I am not here to lord my power over you. I am here to walk beside you, and you will find rest for your souls. Not just rest for your body, not just a break from activity. Rest for your soul, that deep inner part of you that has been running for so long it has forgotten what stillness feels like. Rest for the part of you that worries and strives and performs. Rest at the core of who you are. For my yoke is easy, and my burden is light. Easy, light. Those are not words we typically associate with following God. We have been taught that faith is hard, that obedience is exhausting, that the spiritual life is a constant struggle, uphill. But Jesus says easy. Jesus says light. Not because the path has no challenges, but because you are not walking it alone. Because the one walking beside you is carrying most of the weight. Because surrendered living is infinitely lighter than striving. Let that truth reshape everything you thought you knew about life with me. There is a story from the Gospels that I want to bring to your mind now. It is about a storm, and it is about sleep, and it is about what it means to rest when everything around you is chaos. Jesus and his disciples were crossing the Sea of Galilee in a boat. It had been a long day of teaching and healing, and Jesus was exhausted, so exhausted, in fact, that he fell asleep in the stern of the boat, his head on a cushion, completely at peace. But then a storm came, not a gentle rain, a furious squall, waves crashing over the sides of the boat, water filling the hull. The disciples, many of them experienced fishermen who had spent their lives on this sea, were terrified. They thought they were going to die. And where was Jesus? Asleep. Still asleep. Somehow, impossibly, peacefully asleep in the middle of the storm. The disciples woke him up. "Teacher, don't you care if we drown?" And Jesus got up, rebuked the wind, and said to the waves, "Quiet, be still." And immediately the wind died down, and the sea was completely calm. Then he turned to his disciples and asked, "Why are you so afraid? Do you still have no faith?" Now, there are many lessons in this story, but the one I want you to hear tonight is this. Jesus slept through the storm, not because he was unaware of the danger, not because he was irresponsible or uncaring, but because he knew something the disciples had not yet learned. He knew that no storm was stronger than his Father's hand. He knew that the same God who created the sea was the God who commanded the wind. He knew that his life was not at the mercy of circumstances. His life was at the mercy of the one who holds all circumstances in his palm. And so he slept, deeply, peacefully, in perfect trust. This is the rest I am inviting you into tonight, not a rest that denies the reality of your storms. You may have very real waves crashing over the sides of your life right now. Very real wind threatening to capsize everything you have built. I am not asking you to pretend those threats do not exist, but I am inviting you to lie down in the boat anyway, to close your eyes anyway, to trust that the same God who commands the wind is watching over you while you sleep. The storm may still rage, but you do not have to stay awake fighting it. You can rest, and when you wake up, you will find that either the storm has passed or you have been given the strength to face it. Peace. Be still. I am speaking those words over your life right now, over your mind that will not stop racing, over your heart that will not stop pounding, over your fears that will not stop screaming. Peace. Be still. You do not have to figure out how to calm the storm. I am the one who calms storms. Your job is simply to trust, to rest, to lie down in the boat and believe that I am watching over you. The disciples asked, "Who is this? Even the wind and the waves obey him." That is who I am, the one whom wind and waves obey, the one who speaks and creation listens, the one who holds the universe in his hand and holds you in his heart. If I can command the storm, I can certainly command your life. If I can silence the wind, I can certainly silence your fears. If I can calm the raging sea, I can certainly calm your racing mind. Trust me. That is all I am asking. Not perfect faith, not unwavering confidence, just trust, just a willingness to believe that the one who made you is also the one who will keep you. Let me share another scripture with you now. This one is from the prophet Isaiah, and it speaks directly to those who are weary. He gives power to the weak, and to those who have no might, he increases strength. Even youths shall faint and be weary, and young men shall utterly fall. But those who wait on the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. He gives power to the weak, not to the strong. The strong do not need his power, they have their own. But you have reached the end of your own strength tonight, and that is exactly where my power begins to flow. To those who have no might, that is you, emptied, depleted, running on fumes. You have nothing left to give. And into that emptiness, I pour my strength. I increase what you do not have. I multiply what seems insufficient. Even youths shall faint and be weary. Even the young and energetic will eventually run out. Human strength has a limit. No matter how much willpower you have, no matter how disciplined you are, no matter how hard you try, eventually, you will hit a wall. That is not failure. That is design. You were never meant to sustain yourself indefinitely. You were meant to run out so that you could run to me. But those who wait on the Lord shall renew their strength. Wait. That is such a difficult word in our instant world. We do not like to wait. We want solutions now. We want answers immediately. We want our problems fixed before we finish asking for help. But waiting is not passive. Waiting is an act of trust. Waiting says, I believe God will come through, even when I cannot see how. I believe my strength will be renewed, even when right now I feel completely empty. And what happens to those who wait? They shall mount up with wings like eagles. Eagles do not flap their wings constantly to stay airborne. They find thermal currents, rising columns of warm air, and they spread their wings and soar. They let the current carry them. They rest on the wind. That is what I am offering you. Not the exhausting work of constant flapping, but the effortless joy of soaring. Let the current of my grace carry you. Spread your wings and rest on the wind of my spirit. They shall run and not be weary. Running is sustained effort, long obedience, the daily grind that wears most people down. But when your strength comes from me, you can run for years without burning out. You can face demand after demand without depleting your reserves, because you are not running on your own fuel. You are running on mine. They shall walk and not faint. Walking is the ordinary pace of everyday life. Getting up, going to work, taking care of responsibilities, doing the small, unglamorous tasks that no one notices but that hold everything together. Even the walking requires strength that is not your own, and I will give it. So wait on me tonight. Rest in me tonight. And tomorrow, when you rise, you will find that your strength has been renewed, not because you tried harder, but because you surrendered deeper. I want to speak now to the specific fears that may be circling your mind as you try to fall asleep. Perhaps you are afraid of tomorrow, afraid of what it might bring, afraid of the conversation you have to have, the decision you have to make, the challenge you have to face. Tomorrow feels like a mountain that you do not have the strength to climb. But beloved, tomorrow is not here yet, and when it comes, I will come with it. The strength you need for tomorrow will be given tomorrow. You do not have to carry it tonight. You do not have to figure it out right now. All you have is this moment, and in this moment, there is grace sufficient for this moment. Let tomorrow worry about itself. Perhaps you are afraid of your past, afraid that your mistakes will catch up with you, afraid that the things you did or failed to do have disqualified you from blessing. The past feels like a weight you cannot escape, a chain you cannot break, a shadow that follows you, no matter how fast you run. But I am the God who makes all things new. Your past does not define your future. Your mistakes do not dictate your destiny. What has been done can be forgiven. What has been broken can be restored. I am not limited by your history. I am the author of new chapters, new beginnings, new stories that no one saw coming. Perhaps you are afraid of yourself, afraid that you do not have what it takes, afraid that you will fail again, just like you have failed before, afraid that deep down you are not enough, not smart enough, not strong enough, not good enough, not worthy enough. But I am the one who qualifies the unqualified. I do not choose the strongest or the smartest or the most put together. I choose the weak so that my strength can be displayed. I choose the foolish so that my wisdom can shine. I choose you, not because you are enough, but because I am enough in you. Whatever fear is whispering to you right now, I want you to know this. Fear is a liar. It shows you worst-case scenarios as if they were certainties. It magnifies dangers and minimizes hope. It speaks with authority it does not actually have. But my voice is the voice of truth, and my truth says this: you are loved, you are held, you are protected. Nothing can separate you from my love. Not death, not life, not angels, not demons, not the present, not the future, not anything in all creation. You are secure in my hand, and no one can snatch you away. Let the fear quiet now. Let it fade like shadows before the dawn. The sun is rising over your spirit, and darkness cannot remain where light has come. I want to give you one more practice before we close. It is a prayer, Not a complicated prayer, not a formal prayer, just a simple conversation between you and me. You can speak these words silently in your heart, or you can simply listen as I speak them over you. Lord, I come to you tonight just as I am, tired, broken in places, uncertain about so many things. I do not have the strength to fix myself, and I have finally stopped trying. I surrender to you, not because I have figured out how, but because I have run out of any other option. I release my grip on the outcomes I have been trying to control. I place them in your hands, knowing that your hands are far more capable than mine. Forgive me for the ways I have strayed, for the worry I have entertained, for the doubt I have nurtured, for the pride that made me think I could handle everything on my own. Wash me clean and give me a fresh start. Fill me with your peace. Not the peace the world gives, temporary, fragile, dependent on circumstances, but your peace, the peace that surpasses understanding, the peace that guards my heart and mind, the peace that remains even when everything else falls apart. Help me to trust you more tomorrow than I did today. Help me to release faster, to surrender deeper, to rest more completely in your love. Teach me what it means to live from rest rather than for rest. And as I sleep tonight, do a work in me that I could never do on my own. Restore what has been damaged, heal what has been wounded, renew what has been depleted. Let me wake up different than I was when I lay down. I love you, Lord, not perfectly, not as much as you deserve, but as honestly as I know how. Thank you for loving me first. Thank you for never giving up on me. Thank you for being here, right now, in this quiet moment, speaking peace over my weary soul. In Jesus' name, amen. That prayer is yours now. You can return to it whenever you need it, whenever the weight becomes too heavy, whenever the fears become too loud, whenever you need to remember that you are not alone. We have journeyed together for a while now, through stories and truths, through lessons and practices, and now, as this time draws to its gentle close, let me speak one final word over you. You came here carrying something. Perhaps you did not even have a name for it, only a weight, only a weariness, only a quiet desperation for something more than what the world has offered you. And I met you here, not with demands, not with a list of things you must fix before you are worthy of peace, but with an open door and a simple invitation. Come, rest, surrender, and whether you feel it fully yet or not, something has shifted. A seed has been planted in the soil of your heart. A crack has formed in the wall you have built around yourself, and through that crack, light is beginning to seep. It may be just a sliver right now, just the faintest glow. You do not have to have it all figured out by morning. You do not have to wake up transformed into someone unrecognizable. Transformation is not an event, it is a becoming. It is a slow, patient unfolding, like a flower opening in sunlight, like a child growing into adulthood, like a river carving its way through stone. You cannot rush it, you can only trust it. And tonight, you took one more step on that path, so carry this with you into sleep, and into every night to come. I am not broken. I have only been believing lies about myself that were never true. I am not too far gone. I am exactly where grace meets me. I am not alone. I have never been alone. The one who spoke the stars into place is speaking peace over me right now. I do not have to earn rest. Rest was given to me before I took my first breath. I am held. I am loved. I am His. Let these words soak into your spirit like rain into thirsty ground. Let them be true for you, not because you feel them fully yet, but because I have declared them, and my word does not return void. What I speak comes to pass. What I promise, I deliver. And I am promising you tonight that you are mine, and that nothing will ever change that. You are not defined by your worst moments. You are not limited by your greatest failures. You are not trapped in patterns that seem impossible to break. There is grace for you. There has always been grace for you. And that grace is not running out. It is new every morning. And it will be there when you wake up tomorrow, just as it is here with you now. I have loved you with an everlasting love. Everlasting. That means it does not end. It does not fade. It does not grow weary or distracted or disappointed. It is constant. It is eternal. And it is yours. Not because you earned it, not because you deserved it, but simply because I chose you, and I am still choosing you. In this very moment, I am choosing you. With all your flaws and failures and fears, with all the parts of yourself you try to hide, with all the doubts and questions and struggles you think disqualify you from my love, I see all of it. And I choose you anyway, not in spite of who you are, but as you are, fully, completely, forever. Let that truth settle over you like a warm blanket. Let it wrap around your tired body and weary mind. Let it whisper to the deepest parts of you that have been longing to hear these words for longer than you can remember. You are chosen. You are loved. You are enough. And now, as you drift toward rest, I have one small request. Not a demand, just a gentle invitation. If these words have ministered to your weary heart tonight, if you have felt even a moment of peace that seemed beyond your own making, if something stirred within you that you cannot quite name but you know was real, then perhaps you might leave a small trace of your presence here. A like on this video, a comment sharing what moved you, a subscription so that we might walk together again on another night when your soul is weary and you need to remember that you are not alone. I am not asking this for myself. I do not need your approval or your validation, but there are others just like you who are lying awake right now, somewhere in this vast and lonely world, wondering if there is anything that can speak to their restless hearts. They are scrolling through their phones at 2 a.m, desperate for something true. They are crying silently into their pillows, afraid that no one sees their pain. And your small act, your like, your comment, your share, might be the reason they find their way here too. You could be the doorway through which grace reaches someone else. Not through any effort or striving, just through a simple click, a moment of your time, a tiny offering that becomes multiplied in ways you cannot imagine. But even if you do nothing but rest tonight, that is enough. You are enough. You have always been enough. Now close your eyes. Let your breathing slow. Let your thoughts grow quiet. You do not have to think about tomorrow. Tomorrow will worry about itself. Right now, there is only this moment, this breath, this peace, this presence. I am watching over you, just as I have always watched over you. There is no moment of your life, waking or sleeping, when you are beyond my sight. I know every thought before you think it, and I love you anyway, completely, without condition, without reservation. The peace of the Lord, which surpasses all understanding, guard your heart and your mind in Christ Jesus. You do not have to understand it. You do not have to earn it. You do not have to maintain it. Just receive it. Let it flow over you like a river. Let it fill every empty space within you. Guard your heart. I am setting a watch over your innermost being. No anxiety will enter there tonight. No fear will take root. I am standing guard, and nothing gets past me. Guard your mind. I am quieting every racing thought, every worry about tomorrow, every regret about yesterday. They do not belong here. They are intruders, and I am sending them away. In Christ Jesus, in, not around, not near, in. You are wrapped up in my Son like a child, wrapped in a warm embrace, hidden in him, protected by him, loved by him. This is your reality. This is your truth. This is who you are. Sleep well, beloved, deeply, peacefully, in perfect surrender. I am here. I am always here, and I will be here when you wake. Amen. And as these words settle over you like dew upon a thirsty field, hear me whisper again, my child, draw near, for I am the living Word who speaks even in the silent chambers of your heart, and I am not finished speaking over you. There is more I long to pour into you, more peace, more truth, more of myself, for I am the God who does not grow weary, the God who keeps watch through the night, the God who bends low to comfort those who tremble at the weight of their days. Come, rest in me, for long before your eyelids grew heavy, long before your strength waned, long before your mind became a battlefield of thoughts you could not quiet, I called you, I chose you, I set my affection upon you, and I have been patient with you, more patient than you have ever been with yourself, waiting for the moment when your heart would whisper, teach me, Lord, teach me to surrender. And I have heard that whisper, even when you thought it was too small, even when you feared it was too late, even when shame tried to silence it. I heard you, and I respond now with a love that does not hesitate, for surrender does not begin with effort. It begins with invitation, with stillness, with allowing me to be the one who transforms you from the inside out. Do not be afraid of transformation. Do not fear the refining. Do not shrink from the light that reveals what you have tried to hide, for I do not expose to shame. I expose to heal. I uncover to restore. I bring into light what the darkness has claimed, not to condemn you, but to free you from every chain that has bound your soul for too long. My child, listen. You have carried burdens that were never meant for your shoulders. You have fought battles I never asked you to fight alone. You have worn masks, smiled through pain, pushed through exhaustion, and convinced yourself that strength meant never breaking. But I tell you now, true strength is not found in resistance. True strength is found in surrender, in yielding, in laying down your weary weapons at my feet, in letting me be the one who fights for you. For I alone transform hearts. I alone renew minds. I alone resurrect what seems dead within you, and I am doing it even now, even in this quiet moment where you think nothing is happening. Do you feel it? That faint stirring, that warmth that rises unbidden, that loosening of the grip around your chest, that small sigh you didn't know you released? That is my presence. That is my nearness. That is the breath of heaven resting upon your tired lungs. Let me take you deeper. Surrender is not a single moment. It is a rhythm, a posture, a turning of the heart, day after day, night after night, breath after breath. It is the willingness to say, Lord, I cannot, but you can. I do not know how. And when you say this truly, say it, the gates of heaven swing open wide, and grace flows like a river that cannot be dammed. For my grace is not a trickle, it is an ocean. It is not scarce, it is unending. It does not diminish with use. It grows stronger each time you come, and I long for you to come. Come when you are weary. Come when you feel unworthy. Come when your thoughts betray you. Come when your past haunts you. Come when your future scares you. Come when you have sinned and don't know how to return. Come when you have succeeded and don't know how to remain humble. Come when you feel nothing. Come when you feel too much. Just come, for I do not ask you to clean yourself before entering my presence. I ask you to enter so that I may be the one who cleanses you. You cannot transform yourself. This has never been your task. But you can surrender, you can yield, you can let go of the illusion that you must control everything to survive. For the life I offer you, the transformed life, is not built on control, it is built on trust, on abiding, on resting in my presence. like a branch rests upon the vine. Remain in me, and I will remain in you. Let my words abide in your soul. Let my spirit breathe life into every weary place within you. And child, hear this. I am not disappointed in you. I am not waiting for you to fail again. I am not counting your sins as marks against you. I am not irritated by your struggles or tired of your prayers. No, I am the one who rejoices each time you draw near. I am the one who sings over you. I am the one who carries you when you no longer have strength to stand. I am the one who calls you beloved, even when you cannot call yourself anything but broken. Stay with me a little longer. Let these words wash over your mind like gentle rain. You are chosen. You are seen. You are known. You are held. You are forgiven. You are renewed. You are being made whole. Slowly, tenderly, faithfully, by my hands, not yours. And now, my child, pause and breathe. Truly breathe. For I am doing a deep work within you. A work so gentle, you might mistake it for stillness, yet so powerful, it will one day be the testimony that you speak with trembling gratitude. For I am not only transforming what you do, I am transforming who you are, your identity, your desires, your heart's hidden chambers, your very being. And transformation begins here in surrender, in letting me love you past your defenses, in letting me hold you past your fear, in letting me speak truth louder than the lies that have shaped you. Do not resist this love. It is safe. It is holy. It is mine. And now, it is yours. And so, beloved, listen once more as I draw this night to rest. You are chosen. You are loved. You are enough. And now, as you drift toward rest, I have one small request, not a demand, just a gentle invitation. If these words have ministered to your weary heart tonight, if you have felt even a moment of peace that seemed beyond your own making, if something stirred within you that you cannot quite name but you know was real, then perhaps you might leave a small trace of your presence here. A like on this video, a comment sharing what moved you, a subscription so that we might walk together again on another night when your soul is weary and you need to remember that you are not alone. I am not asking this for myself. I do not need your approval or your validation. But there are others just like you who are lying awake right now, somewhere in this vast and lonely world, wondering if there is anything that can speak to their restless hearts. They are scrolling through their phones at 2 a.m, desperate for something true. They are crying silently into their pillows, afraid that no one sees their pain. And your small act, your like, your comment, your share might be the reason they find their way here too. You could be the doorway through which grace reaches someone else, not through any effort or striving, just through a simple click, a moment of your time, a tiny offering that becomes multiplied in ways you cannot imagine. But even if you do nothing but rest tonight, that is enough. You are enough. You have always been enough. Now, close your eyes. Let your breathing slow. Let your thoughts grow quiet. You do not have to think about tomorrow. Tomorrow will worry about itself. Right now, there is only this moment, this breath, this peace, this presence. I am watching over you, just as I have always watched over you. There is no moment of your life, waking or sleeping, when you are beyond my sight. I know when you lie down and when you rise. I know every thought before you think it, and I love you anyway, completely, without condition. The peace of the Lord, which surpasses all understanding, guard your heart and your mind in Christ Jesus. You do not have to understand it. You do not have to earn it. You do not have to maintain it. Just receive it. Let it flow over you like a river. Let it fill every empty space within you. Guard your heart. I am setting a watch over your innermost being. No anxiety will enter there tonight. No fear will take root. I am standing guard, and nothing gets past me. Guard your mind. I am quieting every racing thought, every worry about tomorrow, every regret about yesterday. They do not belong here. They are intruders, and I am sending them away. In Christ Jesus, in, not around, not near, in. You are wrapped up in my Son like a child wrapped in a warm embrace, hidden in Him, protected by Him, loved by Him. This is your reality. This is your truth. This is who you are. Sleep well, beloved, deeply, peacefully, in perfect surrender. I am here. I am always here, and I will be here when you wake. Amen. And yet, beloved child, even after all these words, my heart is not finished speaking. For I am the God whose voice is endless, whose compassion is immeasurable, whose patience outlasts every fear you carry. And so I draw you deeper still, not into burden, not into striving, but into a rest that reshapes you from the inside out. Listen closely. There is more healing for you, more clarity, more renewal, more of me. For I am not a God who gives sparingly. I am not a father who rations his affection. I am not a shepherd who grows weary of guiding his sheep. End quote. I am the one who multiplies mercies, who renews compassion every morning, who pours out grace upon grace until every corner of your soul is washed and made new. My child, surrender is not the loss of yourself. It is the finding of yourself. It is the unveiling of who you truly are, beneath the layers of fear, shame, disappointment, and unhealed memories. It is the uncovering of the identity I gave you before the world ever touched you, before a single wound marked you, before a single lie was whispered into your mind. And so I say to you, do not fear the journey into my presence. Do not fear what I bring into the light. Do not fear the parts of you that tremble at the thought of being seen, for I see you fully, and I do not turn away. I see your exhaustion, and I lift your head. I see your quiet sadness, and I cover you with comfort. I see your unspoken regrets, and I rewrite your story with redemption. I see the battles you fight alone at night, and I step into the shadows beside you so you will never again face them in solitude. My child, you have walked through storms that others never noticed. You have carried loads that no one else recognized. You have cried in secret, prayed in frustration, questioned your worth, doubted your future, feared your past, and wondered if you would ever truly change. Hear me. You are changing. You are becoming. You are growing. You are being shaped by my hands. Even when you feel nothing, I am working. Even when you see nothing, I am moving. Even when you understand nothing, I am guiding. Transformation is not loud. It is not sudden. It is not dramatic. It is gentle, steady, real. It happens in the quiet places, the places where you surrender, the places where you whisper, Lord, make me new. And do you know what delights me? You asked for it. You asked me to teach you to surrender. You asked me to transform you. You asked me to pull you close to my presence. And I always answer prayers like that, not because you are strong, not because you are worthy by your own doing, not because you have earned my attention, but because you are mine, and what belongs to me, I restore. What belongs to me, I protect. What belongs to me, I transform. What belongs to me, I carry all the way home. Beloved child, there is so much more for you than you have believed. There is peace deeper than your fears. There is joy stronger than your sorrow. There is purpose more beautiful than your regrets. There is hope brighter than the darkness you've survived. There is growth that flows from my spirit, not from your effort, and I invite you into it. Slowly, tenderly, faithfully. Let me tell you what surrender truly is. It is not giving up. It is laying down what harms you so I can place into your hands what heals you. It is releasing what you were never meant to hold. It is loosening your grip on the lies that have shaped you so that truth can finally breathe. You do not surrender to emptiness. You surrender to fullness, to wholeness, to me. and I am gentle with those who surrender. I do not break the bruised reed. I do not extinguish the smoldering wick. I do not crush the fragile heart. I bind it. I strengthen it. I rebuild it stone by stone, breath by breath, day by day. So lay down your fears tonight, beloved. Lay down the fear that you will never be enough. Lay down the fear that your past disqualifies you. Lay down the fear that I am distant. Lay down the fear that you will fail again. Lay down the fear that you are too wounded to be made whole. None of those fears come from me. What comes from me is this: you are mine, and no one, not the world, not the enemy, not your mistakes, not your insecurities can pluck you from my hand. Rest in that truth. You do not have to strive to stay in my presence. You do not have to earn your way into my favor. You do not have to maintain some perfect version of yourself in order to be loved. You are already loved, fully, deeply, irrevocably, and I will keep loving you through every season. When you rise with confidence, I will celebrate with you. When you fall under the weight of your burdens, I will lift you. When you wander, I will draw you back gently. When you feel lost, I will guide your steps. When you feel unworthy, I will remind you that my worth covers you. You cannot outrun my grace. You cannot exhaust my mercy. You cannot slip beyond the reach of my voice. I am with you now. I will be with you through the night. I will be with you when you wake. I will be with you every breath of your life. And when you feel overwhelmed, when the world grows loud, when your mind storms with thoughts too heavy to bear, return to me. Whisper my name. Let me still you. Let me settle you. Let me quiet the waves inside your chest. For I am your peace. I am your anchor. I am your shelter. I am your rest. And tonight, as you drift deeper into sleep, I place my blessing upon you. May your heart loosen its grip on every burden. May your mind unclench from every fear. May your breath fall into the rhythm of divine rest. May my presence surround you like a shield of light. May my angels keep watch around you. May my love settle on you like a warm mantle. May my peace sink into the places you thought peace could never reach. Sleep, beloved. Sleep in the certainty of my nearness. Sleep in the safety of my love. Sleep in the assurance that you are held. And when dawn comes, whether early or late, or gentle or bright, know this: I will still be here. I will still be speaking. I will still be working. I will still be loving you with the same eternal love that has carried you through this night. Rest now. You are safe. You are mine. And you are deeply, endlessly loved. Amen. And yet, beloved, even after all that has been spoken over you, my heart continues to pour. For my words do not run dry, and my compassion does not reach a limit. I am the fountain that never ceases, the river that never stops flowing, the wellspring that never empties. And because you have opened yourself to me, even with trembling hands, even with hesitant breath, even with uncertainty, I will continue to fill you. Let me take you even deeper, not into heaviness, not into striving, but into a depth of peace that the world cannot give and cannot take away. A peace that does not depend on circumstances. A peace that does not withdraw when storms rise. A peace that anchors you even when everything else feels uncertain. My child, do you know why I draw you near like this? Because I want you to truly understand what surrender means. Not the version the world teaches, the one that feels like defeat, but the version I teach, the one that leads to freedom. Surrender is not a weakening. It is a strengthening. It is the moment you choose to stop carrying what was never meant to rest on your shoulders. It is the moment you allow me to take what has been crushing your spirit for far too long. You surrender not into emptiness, but into me, into my love, into my arms, into my presence, into my transforming power. You asked me to teach you how to live a transformed life, and I am answering you now, word by word, breath by breath, moment by moment. Transformation cannot be rushed. Transformation cannot be forced. Transformation cannot be achieved by your willpower alone. Transformation is born in surrender. Transformation is sustained by my spirit. Transformation is rooted in my presence. Transformation unfolds as you remain near me, even when you feel nothing, even when you understand little, even when you can barely whisper my name. Let me tell you a secret that heaven itself sings over you. Transformation is not the result of your strength. It is the result of my love, and my love does not fail. You are not a project to me. You are not a burden to me. You are not a mistake I am trying to fix. You are my beloved child, whom I am shaping, nurturing, guiding, healing, restoring, and beautifying. Yes, beautifying. For every wound surrendered into my hands becomes a place where my glory shines. Every scar becomes a testimony of my kindness. Every weakness becomes a doorway for my strength. Every tear becomes a seed for joy yet to bloom. Beloved, your life is not behind schedule. You are not too late. You are not too broken. You are not too far gone. You are exactly where you need to be for me to begin again with you. And I am beginning again with you even now. Hear me. You are not defined by the moments you wish you could undo. You are not defined by the pain others caused you. You are not defined by the seasons of silence or the nights of fear. You are not defined by your failures or your flaws. You are defined by my love, by my calling, by my purpose, by my presence, by the identity I spoke over you before the foundations of the earth were laid. And that identity is firm, unchanging, eternal. You are mine, and nothing can change that. Let me lift some things from you tonight, beloved. Let me lift the pressure to be perfect. Let me lift the fear of making mistakes. Let me lift the weight of trying to hold everything together. Let me lift the lies of unworthiness that have echoed in your mind for too long. Let me lift the anxiety that loops through your thoughts until you cannot breathe. Let me lift the guilt that never belonged to you. Let me lift the shame that has stained your memories. Let me lift the self-doubt that has limited your steps. Let me lift the exhaustion that has settled into your bones. All of it, give it to me. Not because you are strong enough to let it go, but because I am strong enough to take it. Let your heart soften. Let your breath loosen. Let your soul lean on me. For I am the one who carries you. I am the one who strengthens you. I am the one who restores your soul. I am the one who leads you beside still waters, even when your life feels anything but still. And now, beloved, listen. There is nothing accidental about your desire for me. Nothing accidental about your longing for transformation. Nothing accidental about your hunger to surrender. Nothing accidental about your reaching for my presence. Those desires were not born within you by chance. They were planted by me. They are divine invitations, echoes of eternity calling you deeper, whispers of your true home, signs that my spirit is already at work within you. The fact that you desire me at all is proof that you are already being transformed. And so I tell you again, do not rush, do not compare, do not measure yourself, do not despise small beginnings, do not worry about the pace of your growth, do not fear setbacks or slow progress. Do not shame yourself for the days you feel weaker than yesterday. True transformation is not in the pace, it is in the direction, and your direction is toward me. Your gaze is slowly turning, your steps are slowly shifting, your heart is slowly softening, your mind is slowly renewing. This is holy, this is sacred, this is beautiful to me. Let me take you even deeper tonight. Beloved, there are parts of you that still hide, parts that fear being known, parts that have learned to protect themselves, parts that do not yet trust, parts that were shaped by old wounds, parts that still tremble when I draw too near. I see those parts, and I do not push them. I do not force them open. I do not shame them. I simply wait with patience and love until they feel safe enough to come into the light. My child, Every part of you is welcome with me. The strong parts, the weak parts, the confident parts, the frightened parts, the healed parts, the broken parts, the hopeful parts, the weary parts. All of you, every piece belongs in my presence. Do not hide from me what is hurting. Do not hide from me what confuses you. Do not hide from me the memories that sting. Do not hide from me the questions you are afraid to ask. Do not hide from me the emotions that feel messy or overwhelming. Bring them, all of them, every thought, every ache, every burden, every desire, every fear, every longing, every doubt. I can hold them. I can handle them. I can transform them. I can heal them. I can redeem them. There is nothing in you too dark for my light, nothing too broken for my restoration, nothing too scarred for my tenderness, nothing too complicated for my wisdom, nothing too heavy for my strength, nothing. And now, beloved, as the night deepens around you, let my words wrap you like a blanket of warmth. I am here. I am near. I am present. I am gentle. I am patient. I am faithful. I am for you. I am with you. I am in you. You are safe. Rest your thoughts. Rest your heart. Rest your body. Rest your spirit. Let me breathe over you. Let me calm the storms inside you. Let me soothe the fears that whisper in the dark. Let me speak peace to the places that tremble. Let me surround you with a presence that is stronger than every worry. Beloved, feel this truth. You are not alone. You have never been alone. Not for one moment. Not for one breath. Not for one heartbeat. Even when you felt abandoned, I was there. Even when you felt unseen, I was watching over you. Even when you felt numb, I was carrying you. Even when you felt lost, I was guiding you quietly. Even when you felt unworthy, I was loving you without pause. And I will keep loving you through every season, through every night, through every chapter of your story. Now, breathe, beloved, in peace, in stillness, in surrender. I cover you. I protect you. I watch over you. I delight in you. I hold you. I restore you. I strengthen you. I transform you. Sleep now. Sleep deeply. Sleep safely. Sleep wrapped in my presence. I will not leave you. I will not forsake you. I will not cease speaking to your heart. I will not stop working in your life. And when morning comes, I will be here, as faithful as the sunrise I created. Rest, beloved. You are mine. You are held. You are loved. Amen. And yet, before the night fully closes its gentle hand around you, let me whisper a little more, for your heart is tender, and I know it leans toward every word I breathe. Rest is coming, beloved, but let these final threads of truth weave themselves into your spirit, for even in your sleep, I will continue my work within you. Yes, while your eyes are shut and your body settles into stillness, I will be shaping things unseen, healing places you didn't realize were wounded, strengthening foundations you feared were cracking, restoring the fire that dimmed beneath the pressures of the day. I do some of my greatest work in the quiet hours, when you are no longer striving, no longer performing, no longer clinging to your own strength. You think that sleep is an absence of activity, but for me, it is an invitation, a moment when your soul finally loosens its grip, and I can gently rearrange what needs to be aligned. So listen closely, beloved, for this is important. You do not grow because you work harder. You grow because you stay near me. It is proximity that transforms you. It is presence that changes you. It is love that renews you. Your heart becomes like what it rests upon. Your spirit becomes like the one you surrender to. Your life becomes shaped by the hands that hold you. This is why I draw you so tenderly, so consistently, so faithfully, because if you remain near me, even for brief moments, I can do immeasurably more than you could accomplish on your own in a lifetime of self-effort. Beloved, don't you see? Your transformation is not fragile. Your future is not uncertain. Your story is not at risk. Your destiny is not slipping away from you. I am the one who holds your life, and my grip does not loosen. I do not panic. I do not rush. I do not worry about timelines. I do not reconsider my promise. When I begin a good work, I finish it, and you are one of my good works. So rest tonight with confidence, not fear, with assurance, not anxiety, with peace, not pressure. You are carried, you are covered, you are protected, you are guided. When you wake, the world will still feel large, but you will not face it alone. I will walk with you step by step, breath by breath, moment by moment, and the same peace that settles over you now will follow you into your day. Do not be afraid of tomorrow. Do not fear the unknown. Do not dread the challenges ahead. You and I will meet them together, and every place that once felt overwhelming will become a place where my strength rises within you. Every fear that once held you back will become a memory of how far you have come. Every insecurity that once whispered lies will be drowned out by the truth I speak over you. You are mine, beloved, and I do not let go. Now soften your thoughts. Relax the tightness in your chest. Let your shoulders fall. Let your breath deepen again. Yes, just like that. Let the weight lift. Let the pressure fade. Let the nearness of my presence be enough for you. I am here, closer than breath, closer than heartbeat, closer than every worry that tried to settle in your mind. Place your whole self in my hands tonight, not just the parts you understand, not just the parts you feel confident about, but the parts you are still unsure how to handle. I can carry the whole of you, and I will. Now close your eyes without fear, for while you sleep, I will stand guard. No darkness can touch you. No fear can invade you. No voice of condemnation can reach you. No burden can return to you. I am surrounding you like a shield. I am covering you like a blanket. I am singing over you with a love stronger than the deepest night. You, beloved, are safe. Rest now. Dream gently. Sleep deeply. Breathe slowly. You are loved more than you understand. You are held more securely than you feel. You are watched over more carefully than you know. I am with you now. I will be with you through the night, and I will be with you when the morning breaks. Sleep, my beloved. All is well. All is covered. All is held in my hands. Rest in me. Rest with me. Rest under my wings, for I am here. I am always here. Amen.